People, what's going on? You guys already know what it is. Your boy from Mentourme.com.
It's Mike the Advisor. What's going on, y'all?
People, you know, we there's a show that's really been catching the waves right now, really just causing a lot of great positive energy. We thought we'd talk about this show. It's a Netflix series called Selling Tampa. Shouts out to all the women that's on that show. We thought we'd do a review on the show for a lot of different reasons. One, we love the show. And two is to have you guys see different dynamics that is very important to business for a lot of you that want to be brokers or want to go into that high-end world of selling high-end real estate. So, you know, again, this world of real estate, a lot of us were so consumed in that I guess I would call it the norm of selling $200,000 to $400,000 to $500,000 homes.
Right.
Okay.
Home buyer.
First-time home buyers, you know, probably begging for down deposits. Hoping that some people have grants in position. People, this is not that world. This is high-end, meaning $1 million and up, $5 million, $3 million, $6 million, $10 million. All cash deals. This is what these ladies are selling. Shouts out to Sherelle, Ocho Cinco's baby mother. Shouts out to her for doing what she does, and I gotta commend her. If I'm correct, I think she had a background. She was in the service. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's what I commend her for
Okay.
specifically. She did. She actually retired in 2019. So,
Okay.
fairly recently, not even too long. So she she finally retired fully. You know, she was doing it part-time. From what I heard, she started off part-time doing it in 2017 is when she really started. So from 17 to now, 17 was just yesterday. So from 17 to now, you know, her biggest deal is $10 million plus.
Impressive. $10 million deals.
You know, and it's a good thing. You know, the actual figure I think was 7.5, but it was one of her biggest deals from what she said.
I gotta respect that. I mean,
which was good, and it was done in Miami. You know what I'm saying, our hometown, so it was good.
You know, for a lot of you that's tuning in right now, shout out to, of course, you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys share this live. We're doing a review on Selling Tampa. This is one of those Netflix series that you got to watch. Great series, very powerful.
Don't get me wrong, it's not for everybody. Listen, if it wasn't for Bobby telling me to watch it, I probably wouldn't watch it. It wasn't really my cup of tea when it comes to all that feminine energy. But you know what I'm saying? It was a typical how can I say just a typical drama.
You got some drama there. You got some drama.
You know, all the juice, you know what I'm saying, that women love. And I wasn't really into all that. But what I loved about it was the gist of it. Mm-hmm. And the which all of those selling shows give you. You know, Selling Tampa, Selling LA, Sunset, all of them give you that gist. But because, you know, it's sisters.
Yeah, I gotta respect.
And it's not, you know, all Caucasians or you know, other races that we normally see in the high-end market, really just white people. That's where I started actually. Started when I used to watch Selling LA with all the guys that were used to be in it, and Selling New York with Ryan Serhant. I got motivation from that, and the motivation is it can be trickled into so many different things. It's not just real estate, but anything dealing with sales. As you already know, guys, it's the highest paid you know, career path or highest paid profession.
100% facts.
Yes, it's a profession. It's not just a job. It's the highest paid profession is sales. And if you did not know or wasn't aware of this, but everybody, whatever that you do, you're in some sort of sales. Or your capacity is in some sort of sales. So if you're a manager, you're selling your people on why they should do it. You may not call it sales, but that's really what you're doing. You're selling the job you want to apply to why you out of the whole 300 applicants. You're selling this girl on why she should be with you. You're selling your husband on why he should improve you from being a girlfriend to a wife, or from a girlfriend to fiance to a wife. That's a sales technically in a sense. So every aspect of life has that. If you just put your you know, when you put your business hat on and you put that lens on, you're selling in every aspect. So whenever you step out the house, you know, you're in sales, in sales mode. You know, so when I step out the house, like as I am today, this is me selling myself in a certain fashion, right? Or in a certain manner.
While we're talking about fashion, let's talk about the fashion that was on the women. I'm seeing, you know, and I want to say this in the most positive way. When you're selling high end, you have to look like money. And I love how one of them even stated that in the show. You got to look like money because you're dealing with people who have money, people who have $5 million, $1 million. 3 million, or even $500,000 to put down on a property.
Correct. And it's not always just the oxymoron about this is that you have to look like money, but it's not all the time the people you're selling to look like money.
That's facts. I mean, you ask yourself a question.
The guy who upgraded his offer from 3 to 4 million, he looked like a guy who was a hobby. The worst outfit in the world. But he's not fashionably inclined, right?
But to have $3-4 million offer right on one property,
correct, all cash.
I can imagine all cash.
But mind you, whether it's his money or not, a lot of these people, when you get into that high level, they work together. They pool money together, right? Private equity. They're bringing, you know, there's a lot of hedge funds who have, you know, funds that need to be deployed that they say, look, it's just sitting here. We got this family office or whatever. We got billions of dollars. We need to diversify. What assets you got? Because stocks can only do so much. This because you need alternative investments.
Get some real estate.
So they're like, yo, let's find some people who know about that market and put us in there. You know, that's where a lot of them end up getting that capital too.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even think Tampa had that. Like, did you see some of the homes, $3 to $4, $5 million? I didn't even know Tampa had an area like
15 million,
$15 million properties.
And I'm not surprised because you gotta understand, Tampa does have the components of a bustling metropolitan area.
Yeah.
Right. And I actually just came from there. I didn't even get home yet.
Yeah, you just jumped in.
Yeah, I was out of town for a few days, but I just came from there, and it was all business. It wasn't pleasure at all. It was just a pass through. But coming from there, what you notice from Tampa versus all other cities, they do have football teams.
For sure, everybody know about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Now they have Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Okay, of course.
Arguably the best of all time,
of course,
when it comes to being a quarterback, right? So there's a lot of eyes on that, right?
Sure.
But with the I think it's the Edward Jones is what they call it. Either Edward Jones or Charles Schwab. One of those are the Raymond James Stadium, right? Is what it's called. There's funds that are down there. There's money. There's a lot of wealth down there. It's a bustling and growing area. So, which is why the real estate market is growing. Plus, it's Florida, so they still get the benefits of the taxes, but they have a lot more space in certain areas. A lot of opportunities for new development, developers.
You're 100% right too. I like the fact also in the show, the woman Cheryl decided to, of course, connect with the newest developer that's developing high-end properties.
Think about it. That's your play.
Imagine.
That's your long-term money, in my opinion. That's like
Facts.
That's like a way of guarantee. That's like a way of foreseeing your salary the next 2 to 3 years. It may not be today, because why? What do I mean by that? These projects are not getting done tomorrow. These projects are in the works. They haven't even broke ground yet. But 2 3 years from now, you have a set amount of guaranteed leads, a set amount of guaranteed properties to sell, a set amount of commissions you can probably make as long as you close the deals. Aside from what you go farm. That's a great way. If you're in, especially if you're in high end, you need developers.
But my
developers breed other developers.
I think on the show she gave it to the wrong person though, because.
Are you talking about Carla?
Oh my God!
She did her job though. She did a great job, which she tried to position her. Now, in the real world, it wouldn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning that project would have went to who's worthy.
Yeah, to me,
versus who needed it,
and that would have been Colony or
the top 2 producers.
Yeah.
Those are the top 2.
What about Alexis?
Alexis is not a producer.
Oh yeah, she's not a producer. That's the one that's the football.
Alexis is not a producer.
No, who was a producer was Raina.
Raina. Yeah, exactly.
Attorney. She really was stable on her delivery and understanding what she stands for.
Now let's talk about this for a second.
Which one? Raina on the commission.
Now, Sherelle, I respect everything you did. We're gonna get into the positives of what we like about the show, but here's what I didn't like. I'm not even gonna say here's what I didn't like. Here's what just didn't make sense. When you're dealing with these high-end properties and you're dealing with multi-millionaires and
for sure,
and you know the type of level of commission, your average commission is what the average agent makes in a year.
Okay.
Like the average real estate agent roughly brings in, if you just Google it, it's roughly between 30 to 40 grand.
Yeah, if that.
If that.
That's
we're talking average agent. We're not talking about agents or a few agents over there. We're talking about average.
Yeah.
The average agent makes about 30, 40 grand a year. Now, there's some who make millions, of course. Yeah. But especially in the high-end market. But if you're owning your own brokerage, you're selling $1 million properties. The cheapest I ever saw that they had was 1.2 or 1.7.
Yeah, so if you do a 3% commission on, let's say you do 6% commission on 3 on each side, you're talking already $30,000 right there.
That's what I'm saying. So
the listing side.
And they're the listing side. So you know what I'm saying? Their average commission deal is 30 grand, and up. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
If you talk about $1 million property. So if you have that type of a brokerage, right? And you're going after, the best of the best, the cream of the crop, the creme de la creme of Tampa.
Facts.
My question is, Sherelle, I understand you wanted to bring in people, but what business person says, you know what? I'm going to start off by profiting only 5% commission.
That part, yeah, I was a little confused.
From y'all. I'm gonna give y'all 95%. I'm going to get 5 only.
I mean, here's my thing. I'm assuming I've seen another broker, a couple brokers I know did that same mistake. And
95.
My thing is, right, if you're running a brokerage office, the first thing I always believe in this in any business when you're doing some type of commission split, don't always start high because you can't go back low.
But let's go back to business 101. What is considered a good business? a business that makes a profit, gross margin of 15 to 20% is considered a viable business model.
And that whole drop she did, that's
that 595, you're not leaving enough room in front of you to keep a carrot. When it comes to sales, when it comes to building a business, whoever's watching, you got to leave a carrot in front of your people. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're owning whatever it is you're owning, you got people. Wherever you work, they keep a carrot in front of you. You start off at $15 and you move up to the fries, you might get $17.50. Then that's when the big bucks start rolling. You know what I'm saying? You go from mopping the floors to the fries. You know what I'm saying? Type of thing. So, but you do that because why? As you go up, the commission goes up. So if she started off at 75 or 80, it wouldn't make sense.
I wasn't too sure why was there 95 5. I'm assuming, I'm hypothetically assuming, maybe there's a high monthly office fee or desk fee as they would call it, which could offset that. But here's my thing.
Nah, you just starting off, boss.
You just starting off 95.5. What incentive does the person have to say, well, you know what, great job, you did 10 million, 30 million for the year. Here's something for you. You're already at 95.5. You're going to give them 100.
Here's the thing.
You're barely going to give them 100, especially when you have that overhead of maybe $4,000 to $10,000 rent per month.
But here's my thing. With that 95.5, it lets me know you did not you weren't thinking about 6 months from now, a year from now. You think you were, but you really weren't.
Remember, because she's a new broker. You got to be fair on that.
New broker or not. Any business person is not going to give somebody $1 million properties. You out here selling 2, 3 million, 5 million. Oh, let me get 95% of the commission. I get you want to recruit people.
No, I hope you understand the 95.5. 95 is what the agent is getting.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's my crazy.
So you're only keeping 5%,
which is nothing.
Come on, at least 80%, 80-20 is okay.
Yeah,
that's great. But it's like, okay, you leave. Let me leave 20%, and then I can charge.
And you can charge off a desk fee if you want to offset it. So now the person, because even when we talk about that too, the commission was one thing, right? Yeah, the 95.5 to me made no sense. I'm not,
because let's say you want to get 2 offices, Bobby. You say, you know what? Until you in Tampa, she got a baby daddy in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Now what? She prayed she want to go to Miami, open an office in Miami. What's going to happen? That causes what? Expansion. That causes more money coming out. Where are you going to take that money from? Your business. But you only give 5%.
Yeah, to me the 5%. She obviously realized that because you could see.
That's why she cut it down.
Yeah, she cut it down and also try to offset the compensation.
She should have started with that.
With marketing. Increased marketing.
Doing shit.
So she knew she realized the mistake she made there, and that's something important for a lot of you that's getting into business.
Any business.
If you're ever starting a business, and no matter what business is, and there's a commission split, remember, it's good to start low with your commission. When I say low, we're not talking 50-50 every time. Maybe 70-30. 70 is for the agent, 30 is for yourself. And as the agent reaches certain sales quotas, you could, of course, increase them if they stay with you for another year, another 5%. If they with you another year, another 5%. And then you could cap out what's your cap of your company. Your cap could probably be 90-10, and you never go any further than that.
Correct.
Based on the sales that the individual closed for the year, the sales quotas that they reach. But that part there was, and my thing is too, it's not just the drop I had a problem with, is how also as a broker, as an owner, how she said it.
Yeah, how she did it in front of everybody. And I get it, it's a take and leave it thing.
That was kind of off.
I get it, but here's the problem. When you're starting off, you did it backwards, in my opinion. You should have started off, and that's just really, I think I'm not the only one. Start off at 80. Hey, y'all, I'm starting my own brokerage. I want y'all to come on with me. I'm doing 80-20 splits. It's common sense. Okay, Doug, you're not going to give me 95%. 95 was just like, as an agent, they was thinking, oh, she's 95. Shoot, I'm coming over there because it doesn't 100%. Because it doesn't matter wherever I go. They're not giving me 95.
For sure.
So they know for sure they're going to keep 10 times more in their pocket. What agent is not going to go there?
With the exposure she got now based on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
she's now in a position where she can even give people 64. They're going to take it.
Yeah.
Because that exposure of Netflix alone, a lot of people don't have that ability. There's not too many offices that's doing high end. That's one.
Yeah.
There's not too many Black-owned offices that's doing high end. That's
correct.
Two.
Fully. Not like
so she has a lot of leverage in that particular area.
Because of Netflix exposure.
Because of Netflix exposure.
We're in a different time now because you got to understand. Back in the day, before the virus and everything, before everything went to Netflix and they were getting all these exclusives, a lot of this show would have really been on Bravo.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right? Which is where all the other selling New York, all that other stuff was. Now that would have been a continuous series.
For sure.
Which really would have blew them out the water.
For sure.
Because if I'm not mistaken, like Love and Hip Hop and them, they get paid to do that stuff. It's not for free.
For sure.
It was in the network is paying them to be on these shows. So I'm not sure if she got paid or they got paid to do it, whatever. It's their business. But my point is, back to the split. Even if it's not a sales commission type of business you're running, any business you're in, you're selling hair care products, beauty products, you're selling tea, whatever it is. If you're not making 15 to 20%
for profit for your side,
margin, meaning like it may not even be net profit, but just gross margin, just what you bringing in, then you can take your net because you got to calculate all the costs. But let's just say 15, 20% minimum you want to be taking because of why? That lets you know that you can at least run the business off that. If you're getting 5, 7, get out that business.
Because to me too, when you look at it too, at one point she's collecting 5%. You have you almost 60% non-producers. When we talk about because you got Alexis who's doing nothing.
Let's say 4. Because she got Tennille.
Okay, yeah, you got Tennille.
Okay. Tennille, she already got 12 million, she got $14 million.
That's the guy. That's the one that had the
investor, with the licensing investor.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So she got some heavy hitters.
She got Colony, of course.
Colony, Tennille. You said you got the lawyer. Which recently just became a top producer in the office.
And she's a broker also.
She's a broker, so she got some heavy hitters to where they can go out and do their own thing.
You know what she got? Joanna could do something too. I'm not saying. I don't know what's the full potential of Joanna, if I'm saying her name correct. That's her upgraded
her office manager.
Yeah. I think she has potential, a lot of potential too. But you still, to me, for the offset for people like, of course, Alexis, and which is kind of funny, they said Ann was like the highest producer, but the knowledge on that one deal really got me confused. The 8.5 million. Yeah.
The first property.
For her to get a $3 million offer,
I wasn't even
so excited to present it. They made her look, to me personally, real immature and unexperienced.
100%.
That you were
100%.
So excited because maybe just to say, "Oh my God, I got a deal and I want to present it."
Not 3.5. It was 3, so it wasn't even really half of what it sold for.
I don't know.
Because they were selling it for $9 million.
But they say she's the highest producer. That's just kind of crazy.
You were $5 million off. You could at least come up another $3 million. You shouldn't. And this is a difference between having a all female office and an all male office or a mix. Because if you have a mix, just my opinion, the psychology, she can't come to an office that had maybe 3 guys and 3 girls, and because why? The levels of energy and competitiveness is different. We have all women and none of them are bringing nothing. You only one bringing 3. I get her argument to a degree.
Yeah,
she's the only one bringing something to the table.
Now let's be fair. Now by theory, they say in the real estate school or legally, you should present every offer is an offer.
Correct.
But we all know.
Bob, you sell something for $9 million. I come and tell you, I'll give you 3.
I'm not even taking that serious. You know what I mean? But the
house is 5. The land is worth $3-4 million.
Yeah, that really confused me. That really blew me out the seat. When I'm watching the show, I'm like, okay, cool. She got some realtors, cool. They fly, cool. I get it. They savvy. Okay, cool. But then I'm like, hold on. It's like this girl is so immature.
Yeah.
In a weird way, like she's so excited.
Granted, it is a show.
So maybe they threw the loop like that. So I don't know if that was a real scene or.
Here's the problem.
That whole acting stuff. I don't know what's real from what's fake in these type of shows.
No, I get it because here's the thing. How are you in that business? You're in that business. You're working at the highest level. What I mean by highest level, you're dealing with high level clients, high net worth clients, high touch clients. They need different types of service. They require a different type of work ethic, a different type of level of detail. So what does that mean? Every morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, before anything even opens, before things update, as soon as we need to figure out what time these things update exactly, to figure out on the MLS when is it going to update, to know, is it under contract? For you to be in the office, kikiing and talking with your girls and all stuff that has nothing to do with your current pending offer that's out there, that other people are out there trying to close the deal as well, because it's not only you, it's not an exclusive listing to where you're going to get commission.
She didn't even know that the deal was already on pending.
Your boss, you're supposed to be ahead of her, actually. It's not the other way around.
But remember, you got to also understand too, if
$7 million cash, all cash, you got your little $3 million, $4 million offer. They ain't not even looking at that.
But you see that's where a person like Joanna comes in and do her job, because she's gonna regulate that, because the upline that Ann goes to now is gonna be Joanna. So it should never even hit Sherelle, because that's how embarrassing it was.
Yeah, but at that time it has to, because why? She thinking, well, come on now, I get what you're saying, but why you bidding? This person got $7 million cash.
Yeah, that's already who ain't gonna take that. I mean, of course, even if they say, okay, well, give me 7.5.
Everybody is automatically thinking whatever you're gonna start off, you're gonna discount $1 or $2 million.
For anybody, of course, who's tuning in right now, if you haven't got on Netflix, man, there's a show called Selling Tampa. It's an all-ladies brokerage office in Tampa. Shout out to Ocho Cinco's baby mother.
We're just giving our review on it.
We're just giving our review. We're gonna get it really in depth in a minute. Just understanding that people, first and foremost, I want to say this. Shout out to everybody on that show, because they're working smart, not hard. And I want to make sure I clarify that, because for a lot of you that's doing traditional real estate, selling homes anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000, you're probably running around all day long selling, making a commission of, I don't know, maybe $6,000 to $9,000, and you to make $100,000 a year, you probably got to sell 10 to damn near 13 properties.
Hence why I never got into the business, because why?
Exactly.
I was just never interested in those types of numbers. But here's the thing: you got to start somewhere. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But also, I know people who start in high end. So what's the difference between them and you?
You see,
there's people who go to the office and say, you know what? No, this is what I want to do. I'm going to work. They're going to figure it. I realize real estate people are the hardest. They are the highest level. They are the highest level of sales that you can get, because why? There's no difference between this person and that person that can sell a home. There's nothing special about you. The only specialness about you is getting the results, and you're only as good as your last deal. And
I'll be honest, being consistent. If you're not consistent in real estate,
there's no lying with that, because the numbers are there. The facts, the transactions happen is public record.
For a lot of you that's realtors and you're trying to figure out, how do I get to my next level? What I love about this show, these ladies took a step that a lot of people aren't going to take.
90% are part-time realtors.
I'm going to tell you that.
What I mean is they're making 9 to 5 money. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
They ain't cracking 6 figures. They make about 50, 60. You know what I'm saying? You can get a job.
Imagine, some realtors been in I know some realtors that have been in real estate for 5 years, still making $40,000 to $60,000. You could have worked for somebody that made that type of money.
More than that. And less work.
That's
so
not an accomplishment.
Really, they're making less, because when you think about that, what we did not factor in is the hours put in.
Oh, yeah.
People always calculate what you made for the year, but they're not calculating all the hours you actually work.
That's right.
So if you did $50,000 a year at 40 hours a week, okay, great. Now you get the same person who's a real estate agent who made that money, and he worked 70 hours a week, let's say double, 80 hours a week. In a sense, he actually made, or she actually made, $25,000. Why? Because you worked double the amount across the same amount of money.
For sure.
See, not including taxes and living expenses and everything else.
Now, then when you look at the show too, there's some parts I had a question on too. Like when you think about, I think Raina, right? This happens in businesses. You have a person when she imagine Sherelle reduced the commission. Raina's not happy. Also, Raina behind her back is what? Trying to open up her own office and hire her current agents.
She was a little fishy.
And I'm looking like, this is crazy.
Not her best agent.
Her best agent.
That's fishy as hell.
And one of them was,
mind you, she started with her, I think she said.
Yeah, and one of them was about to sell out automatically. One of them actually sold out.
And
in transition. And didn't want to.
She don't feel bad for her, because you know why?
Oh, man.
She believes that she understands we're in a capitalistic world, and I get her mindset to a degree, right? She understands that, look, she doesn't believe that two brokerage offices can't coexist. She doesn't believe that competition can't coexist. I get that. She's the type of person who always keeps her options open. I get that. But every business, every corporation, doesn't matter what it is you do, they only thrive off what? 2 things: people and commitment, which in a sense can be wrapped around with loyalty.
For sure.
Because if companies didn't have people working there 30, 40 years, that percentage of people who only stay for a year or 2 and leave, companies couldn't grow off.
For sure. I mean, you could imagine. I mean, the company opened up, if I'm correct, 2019. So we're only
19, yeah.
Yeah,
she started in 17. She opened in 19.
Yeah, so 19, 20, 21. So we're talking 3 years the company's been established. And from what we're seeing in the show, certain people haven't been producing all year long. So they've been.
Well, hold on. I don't get it though. Well, okay. Let me. Yeah. So let me ask you this, because you're the real. So when it comes to the broker's license, is it from the time it's issued? You have 5 years to become a broker.
Because it has to be hung with a company. So what they're doing is has to be.
So she started before 2017.
Yeah.
So what the article said.
She's been in the business for a long time, because you remember you have to hang it. Yeah. With the company, even if you're producing, you have to hang it
for 5 years.
Yeah. So like, I have my license hanging with a real estate office. I really,
I got you. But
stocks right now.
My point is that the only reason I'm asking is because of the timeline doesn't add up.
Yeah.
Because the CNBC article did say that she started in 2017 part time, and then 19 she went full time when she retired from the military, the broker, the head of the office, and do it full time. So that means it might be she obviously had to be doing it way before then.
Probably.
Because to become a, you know what I'm saying, to be a brokerage, obviously, to open it and get through
I'm not sure about that part, but with the whole, TV has also its ways to fantasize certain things that's not true. So they're gonna throw some. That's what like when watching the show, certain things I don't know what's true or not, because even when they're talking about Ann, they're like, Ann is the biggest producer, but at the end of the day, Ann doesn't understand numbers.
I don't understand how she's the biggest producer.
I'm still kind of
I get it because she has enthusiasm and she's optimistic. I get it. For me,
totally wrong. Not
to get these types of listings, man. These are not small bullets. I'm talking about 3 million, 5 million, 10 million, 1 million. So for her to get these listings, I'm just like, man. I believe that there is a level of maturity.
For sure.
This is what the show really taught me. And it's not a downplay or anything to the ladies, but let's just be honest. These are not all. The only real educated lady on the staff is Raina, right? We're talking about a corporate attorney, partner at a firm.
Facts.
She can leave that job. She can leave real estate and go get a big paying job.
For sure.
300,000-400,000 easy, right?
Her demeanor and everything is just correct.
She's ready for executive level.
Hold on. Colony also. I gotta give her that.
No, but what can Colony do outside of real estate?
That part I don't know.
That's what I'm talking about.
But
if
she's pretty bright, like she got her head on her shoulder, like if something was,
we ain't gonna get into that. All I'm saying is Colony's great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not downplaying none of them. They're all good. Obviously, the head of the boss of
Raina has
the boss of the table. She's the best. So it's not about education. My point is that outside of all of this. My point is that it's not like they're all. Majority of them are all educated. You saw Tania; she's Miss Miami. She about whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So, I didn't get the vibe of like such educated women back. You're not gonna get that. Super educated. I didn't get that. So the point I got driven with.
So the point I'm making is that if they can do it, people, anybody can do and play at that level. Now, don't let the show fool you. It's harder than it looks.
Oh, 100%.
But if you have a standard, you have a standard. What I've learned years ago, and I wasn't even in real estate, but people who I know who are in it, and people who are just in sales in general, the same amount of work it takes to sell a $300,000 home, it takes to sell a $3 million home. The only difference is what? The type of effort you put in and the commission at the end. So if I'm going to do the same amount of work to get a first-time home buyer or a $3 million property, I'm going to do a $3 million property, get out my comfort zone, and get paid 6 figures at the end versus 7,000, whatever the commission.
The problem with a lot of people is we have a lot of realtors still stuck in that mindset where they're still they're still renting condos, low-end condos. They still don't understand. To me, it's all about a math equation to me. How do I make $2.5 million a year in the least amount of effort? 100%. I'm not here to run around and show people homes all day and try to sell 13 homes to make $150,000.
356 homes.
Yeah,
what's the dude?
Which one?
You know, I'm talking about the main one, the one that all the rest of they just look at him. He's the god. He's the sales guy. He sold about a house a day. He's known for that. He sold 350 homes in a year. You know who I'm talking about? The white guy. I forgot his name. He's a sales. He's the sales guy. He's a sales guru basically, but for real estate, he was a real estate agent. He sold 350 homes a year. You gonna maybe Google him, the sales guy. You know who I'm talking about.
You got me on that. I'm not sure.
I'm gonna give him to you, man. Go ahead.
My thing is this. The show is pretty dope. It has a lot of great aspects on it. You're looking at strong Black women that have enough persistency and consistency to be able to sell high-end properties. These women know what they want, and they're going to get what they got to get by all means. I got to respect that, because a lot of the culture today loves to just settle. And they're settling by just constantly just selling normal real estate, while these women are working smart. You sell $1 million property at a 3% commission, let's say 6% commission divided by 2, whatever, that's 3%. That's $30,000 you made off one deal. You do 3 of those, that's $90,000. But why even do $1 million deal when you can do a $6 million deal? And let's get that same, hypothetically, that same 3%, that's $180,000.
Right.
Profit. And so that means one deal you just made what a realtor would have made selling damn near 15 properties. Right. And you can imagine how much running around, chasing, follow-up calls, cold calls that they got to do. So this really caught my attention, because I always believe in working smart. That's why I got into commercial, because I don't like the constant driving people around and doing that type of foolishness all day. If I'm going to do it, it has to be worth my time. Because again, we're talking about individuals here today that already understands money. I'm not a person that's just touching $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $300,000. I've done that. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna waste my energy to try to make, $30,000 or $50,000 for the year when I could just do that on one transaction. That just, to me, working smarter. But I realized too, some people are so intimidated. Correct. when they hear or see successful people. Oh my God, this person has a lot of money. So what? They're still human. True. And to me, when you look at the show, I'm not trying to bash these women, but these are normal women who are braver than a lot of other women who decided to take a route that makes a lot more sense to win financially in life, to live a great lifestyle. Yeah, and here's the thing. It goes with anything that you're in. I always tell people, there's different ways of doing the same thing, like you just said. You can do the first time home buyer thing, or you can do the high end. But what I really realized what limits people is they do believe in here's why I'm different. I understand some people want to learn the business. I understand some people want to, I feel like sometimes this is a crutch. You got to start somewhere. Facts. What do I mean by that? What I mean by that is you have to start somewhere, as in you have to learn under someone. But it doesn't mean your apprentice cannot be, you can't be an apprentice to a $1 million real estate agent. Mm-hmm. You can be an apprentice to a $1 million real estate agent, just like you can be an apprentice to a regular average Joe at Kai's Realty or at Keller Williams. Why not get with, what's the one? Not Sotheby's, the other one, the main top one, Douglas Elliman, and figure out a way to get in there and get with the top people that's on TV. Email the guy. Go, you know what I'm saying? Go to his IG, stalk him in a way that he gets your attention, or she gets you, because why? That's who ends up getting in the game. Facts. They want to see that because they think, damn, if he did that for me just to work here, imagine what he'll do to get a client. Imagine what he'll do to show a home. Imagine what he'll do to close a deal. When a deal is going to be worth it for him. For sure. I like what they're doing. I like the fact these ladies are building strong relationships. Did you see that? I imagine you're talking $6 million buyers. Yeah. People you can put on a phone call for an $8 million deal. Yeah. Here's my thing. There also is a difference between motivation and knowing when to quit. Oh God, you must be talking about Alexis. Yeah, Miss NFL. I gotta get on her. I feel like maybe the show. I don't know where the show threw a loop. I think the show did some damage to her reputation. Yeah. And here's why. Impressed. Because when people see her in the street, they're not really gonna respect her like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna respect the fact that she was on the show. Hey, you on the show? That's cool. That's other cool. Than that. People who, other than that, people that is, you the one that got fired. Yeah. That's it. And unfortunately, I agree with the head boss, but I feel like she, like Tennille said, she should have did this a long time ago. See, Tennille, she would have been a great boss because she don't play with the game. She get to the point quick. Oh yeah. When she went on the showing with her at the $12 million house with that lady who used to be the Playboy, she showed her the house. She's like, "You got a buyer now?" She's like, "Yeah, I got a buyer. They got cash, verifiable funds, meaning they can buy." Yeah, they got some people be pump faking. They got bank statements to validate that they can really verifiable funds. Oh yeah. She didn't have not one person. Yeah, just sound. She want to sound good.
Mind you, we're talking about a girl who hasn't sold a property based on what the show said in 12 months.
Facts.
Given multiple opportunities. And still to this day, this proves to the point back to what we talk about even on our relationship Thursdays, that unfortunately women have an issue with accountability.
Facts.
And this is not a shot at any specific woman or anyone who's watching now, but in general, consensus.
For sure.
When the heat is on them, directed, and we're talking about you, not next person, not somebody you know, you.
Oh, God. I hated what the girl kept doing. You don't understand my
You don't understand
situation.
this. You don't understand it. We don't have to understand any of that.
That's not my problem.
You, just like all of them, have the same ability to make kids. All of them ladies can make kids as long as they ain't got no physical issue.
Yeah.
They all have the ability, like you do, to have kids and be in situations.
Some of them probably do. Like
most of them do, except for the main two.
Sherelle, I think she says.
Anne and Connie don't have kids. Everybody else have kids.
Yeah, because Sherelle's like, I think she had 2 or 3, and I think Terrell, she was like, Terrell almost got like 7, and
yeah, but she already got her own.
But again,
Tania got some. Everybody got
kids.
6.
Everybody's there to produce.
Everybody has their own ish. People, you have to understand that there's a fine line between motivation and knowing when to quit. Because why? People like to motivate people, sometimes too much.
Yeah, like
I can motivate you to a certain degree, but if I really realize you've hit your own ceiling.
Yeah, like, oh, you gave up on me. I remember.
She said, oh, I feel like she went to, what's his name, Carlos. She's like, I feel like she gave up.
What are you talking about?
Mama, look, that nobody gave up on you. You gave up on yourself because why? You decided after all of the red flags, after all the warnings.
I was so lost on that.
Remember, she was given a few warnings before she did this showing. She went to work with Tania because she was already on thin ice.
Yeah, that is true.
So we're not at a point where nobody told you. You've been told this from before.
Yeah, you
went with Tania to a showing. Tania said, I'm going to try you out. Meaning that what? She's putting you on a deal, a $12 million home where you could split the difference on that.
That's crazy.
Y'all both get 1.5%.
On the deal. Literally. On it. That's just
putting money in your pocket. So instead of her eating up the whole couple $100,000, she going to split it with you.
Yeah, facts.
Here's what happened. Tania got to leave town. She said, okay, my investor's coming back.
You talking when she talking about herself.
We talking about a whale. This dude is a whale, okay? Whale. Ready to buy 14, 15 million as investment properties, not just, I want to live here. No. In multiple states.
I wanted to know what he do for a living.
She went, that's what he does. That's all he do.
Okay, complete just investing.
He's a complete investor. Okay. Works in different multiple states.
Okay, smart guy. Very
so think about this. You're meeting that guy. You're showing him a better property than the one they was at. The one they was at was a little outdated. That little, that lady. She's an older, used to be Playboy model. The inside is dated. He ain't got time for that. It's nice, but he ain't got time for that.
Facts.
He brought her to the real house, the 14+ million. So now the commission just done went up a couple $100,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get there, you don't know nothing about the property.
That was totally embarrassing.
You know nothing, and you're by yourself. Tania's, this is where you get to.
It goes back.
I believe in this.
Research.
I always give people the benefit of the doubt, meaning what? I let people hang theirself. She hung herself on that one.
For sure.
She got the rope and she hung herself. He asked you you don't even need a license for this.
The question was so basic. You're talking
how many
property
rooms,
taxes.
No, that's even too detailed. I'm talking about that's even too detailed. Because he was going to give property
you
taxes.
You can just put it out the MLS listing for that.
Yeah. But remember, she's not a professional. We're going to take it to the most basics. She didn't even know how many bedrooms and.
Yeah, that part was really embarrassing. She got it wrong like 3 times. But again, I'm not sure if that was the show doing that intentionally to transition the energy in the show. But I was.
Who would pick that role in the show?
That's crazy.
I'm not going to pick a role in the show that's going to make me look like a duck. This is just what you did, mama. That's all it was. You didn't know what you was doing. Oh, it's a beautiful tree, and you put his attention on the tree, and you didn't even have a selling point for the tree. He asked you what type of tree, tree of life. What? If you saw how the man looked at her like, okay,
he knew
all right,
just threw some fluff out, But
how many rooms? Oh, 3 bed. Even if she said that, she should have just stuck with it versus saying, "Oh, I think it's 5 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms." No. I'm sorry. It's 3 bed. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. I think. The fact you were so unsure put a bad taste in his mouth. Because while you're dealing with a guy who's looking to buy a $14.5 million property, get your shit together.
And to me, it's kind of embarrassing too, right? You would think this is basic fundamental knowledge. You would come to a showroom with knowledge, did your homework. This is 14. You're coming to really close a deal. This one deal could be your compensation for the year. That's it. One deal. This one deal, you good for the year. You want to make sure you stand out correct.
You know everything.
I know everything. I know what kind of countertop this is.
Who used to live there?
Who used to live there? I know how long they lived here.
When the house was built.
Everything.
When the comps in the area.
Exactly.
Such and such lives down the street. Just sold for XYZ. This is a great investment. Because what is he buying it for? That's what I'm selling to him. Oh, he's buying it for investment. He's not buying it to live. So you tell him, you're buying it for this, but here's the potential where you can go. See that dock back there? Think about your customer bringing up a 200-foot yacht can be sitting there. Not only that, but it also has a special permit where you can extend it for. I was so lost on that when I seen that.
You know, but it's
something. You need to know what paint is, and you need to know. Like I'm talking about every crevice of the home. You should know.
I'm gonna say this too. This is what separates a high-end realtor to a rookie realtor. A low-quality realtor. A high-end realtor, even if you're selling normal homes, you should know the home. You should know property taxes. You should be able to know the layout. Okay,
nobody knows it more than you.
You should be able to understand the neighborhood. Well, also too, around the corner, 2 blocks away, there's a Walmart. There's a Starbucks on the left. I want to also tell you, there's 3 schools, 3 A schools.
New developments coming in the area.
God, imagine. I'm loading the brother with
information that you can't even just regularly find. Like, yeah, actually, just so you know, in the next 3 years, they're actually looking to tear this down across the way. They're going to build up a whole new come on.
So that could actually bring it up 15 to 20% in ARV value. I'm going to eat him up alive. So by that time, he got to give me the list. So here's what we're going to do. I want to show you a home that you didn't ask for. Also, actually, you know what? Before I even go there, let me show you something about the home that you may not have known about. Come this way. You're going to love this.
Instead of the regular, hey, come in and see.
I'm going to eat them up a lot.
Eat them up the situation. But here's what she didn't understand. What she went into was the basic sales issue, what most people don't understand, especially in just any salesperson, especially in real estate, from regular homes to high end. You came in that deal and only worried about what you want to do.
That's it.
You worried about yourself.
Facts. Thinking
that you got the check to write the check to buy that home. Mama, you can't even stage the home.
Well, that was another embarrassing part.
You can't even stage the home. You barely can even get. You probably ain't got gas to get to the home. Your husband had to give you gas to get there because you got there and you ain't know nothing. You know what she said? Well, I don't need to know how many. It sells itself. It sells. If that was the case, why are you going to listing, Mama?
Yeah, if it sells itself, there's no such thing as a realtor. There's no such thing as ideal agent. If these things sell themselves. At the end of the day, you know.
When she said that, I wanted to throw my remote. I was like, oh my God. That's why I was about to call you.
I know.
It was late night.
Third part of the show.
It was late night. I'm like, you know what? I know he was a wifey. Let me just. Yeah. I was like, man, because why? She dropped the ball so bad, and Tennille ate her up when she came back. What type of Dr. Seuss, Cat in the Hat, a tour you doing? The guy called her and said, don't ever put her on any of your clients.
Yeah, she had to beg back because, again, you're talking to high-end client. For clients to come in and even...
The client said that? Oh, you're done. You should have been fired that day.
$6 million deal, $10 million deal clients, $20
That was a 14. That would have been the big 14. That was a $14.5 million property. That would have been the biggest deal for Allure that the main broker didn't even bring into the system.
For sure, because I imagine the biggest deal that they closed from what she said was a 7.5.
7.5, which really it was a $10 million was the budget.
The Miami one, right?
Was the Miami one.
Mm-hmm.
So she would have really been in charge. So they would have been in charge of their biggest deal.
You know, my thing is too. Don't get me wrong. With situations like that, it all goes back to training, and it also goes back to self-drive.
Yeah, but I don't want to hit them on no training, boss.
When I see situations like that,
that's all you want.
Because let's not forget too, you're talking to
not ready.
You're talking to a woman who she dates a football player, so she's probably a stay-at-home mother.
It's not like he was ultra single. I don't even know that.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
So now he like he Tom Brady. So
you know what? That sometimes make women lazy, because you never know. She probably never worked before. She never had to bust her ass before. Because all them excuses that's coming out.
She's never been in sales like that. Meaning, when I say never been in sales, she's never been successful in sales.
I'm be honest.
Real estate is just not her, honestly.
Yeah, but hold on.
I would never buy a real estate property.
If that's the case, what about Carla?
It's not for her either.
I didn't see Carla do anything either. Like
No,
that was another one.
She was hiding behind the fact that she wasn't producing.
Yeah, I didn't see her do anything.
Because she already knew she couldn't handle the Arturo deal. She thought something would just fall out the sky for her. Oh my gosh, you're putting me in front of an opportunity. Yeah, you have one side of the deal. But in real estate, there's two sides. You have the listing and you have the buyer for that listing.
For sure. That buyer got to come in.
You need the peanut butter and the jelly. You can't just have one side.
For sure.
She had nobody to bring to the situation. She leveraged everybody else to make it seem like you had Colony bring so much clients. She was like, look, just walk this client around, make it seem like you're doing something. Only girls will do that. Guys won't do no crap like that.
That was, I've never seen something like that either. Like, I don't know where that came from, like the whole walking behind. And I'm not too sure, but I guess that's a procedure she uses at her office, a technique she used maybe to kind of,
and this is
the importance, a realtor, you know what I mean?
This is my opinion. This is the importance of relationships.
Oh my God.
Colony stepped up. She said, you know what? I want to be not only the office manager when you leave, but I'm also still a top producer in your office. So not only can I do one, I can do both. To the point where she said, you know what? Come with me. I want to introduce you to a developer I introduced to the team.
When she did that, I'm not going to lie. The respect went to a whole different level. That
was a whole game changer because why? The guy said, come in. We've spared no expense.
Exactly.
we would love for you
to.
We would love for you. He came in straight to we would love for you to be the one to sell it. They didn't get into all this where looking at other. No. He said for specifically come in. We spare no expense. We would love for you to sell it.
I was a little confused on
bringing a developer, not just a guy who got to have him to sell. He's a guy who makes them.
Makes homes all day.
And has many different situations going on.
Very nice home. The all white one?
Yeah, I think it was like $8-9 million. Yeah. Bathroom was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was up there in the millions.
To me, it's even when Cheryl picked, I think she picked Joanna over.
I was shocked. I was like, bro, you tripping.
Over Colony. I was a little confused.
Only because Colony is so loyal. She loyal as hell because she
stayed there.
She put out hands. She put out her best. Like she's so loyal to Cheryl.
Yeah, she real because you can see when the whole situation with her and Raina.
Yeah, she put it all. She wasn't about all that.
I'm not about the foolishness you got going on.
But if she wasn't, that move
she would have been another Ann. She would have been another Ann. Ann was out of there.
That move right there.
Ann was almost out of there.
Shit, Colony could have her own. I ain't gonna lie. She could have her own brokerage firm.
I think she'll do just fine without the whole office. Believe it or not.
This is the power of relationships, though. Like we're going to get into, is the importance of relationships and the power of building together. Because honestly, they're much better. They're much better together than they are separated. Just my opinion. I'm glad Raina didn't go and do her own thing. Because here's the thing, what you're doing is building a brand
for sure.
Even if you're not the head of it, it's not everybody needs to be the head of it. Sometimes that was all just ego and emotion. Remember, women run their logic through their emotions. Men run their emotions through their logic. That's where we're different.
Well, I think at the end of the day,
she felt some type of way.
Sherelle could have just simply, first of all, I think the commissions thing could have been private. That's one thing she could have done better.
Oh, we know she got a whole bunch of things individual. 100%.
Because imagine having an office of 20 agents.
Conversation, you can't talk about that.
We don't even talk about that publicly. And if Raina is who she says she is, being there from day one, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal to talk to her privately and look, I'm dropping these individuals.
Right.
15% drop. I'm gonna drop you 5.
Right, and that's between us.
That's between us, and that's just that. And ain't nobody gonna know because when compensation come, I'm paying you. You pay each individual directly.
Yeah.
But here's the problem too. I see with the show.
And you sign papers.
I see the problem with the show
too. You can't disclose it.
Some of the women, they're too. See, I get it. There's a sisterhood in there, but that sisterhood is a little too comfortable for some women.
Yeah, it's a problem.
That's what got Alexis and Carla feeling like it's okay to be in the office for a whole year and not close any deals.
Because the girls are going to feed them deals. They're going to bring them onto their deals.
Exactly.
Oh, come with me on this deal, girl. We're going to split it with you. $10. Let's see if you got a buyer for it.
Facts.
But imagine if it was each its own, eat its own.
Oh, my God.
It would be an issue because Carla hasn't brought nobody to the table. She don't know anybody rich from what I see on the show. And what she did beforehand is not what we talking about. What she did before the pandemic, all that, that's your business. It's not relevant. The relevant, what we saw when the cameras were live, when it was showtime, You was on the bench. You and Les was on the bench. And now here's the thing. Not saying you guys are incapable. Well, you showed you were incapable. Doesn't mean you don't have potential. But from what I've seen and what I always tell women, you never go off potential.
Oh man, never.
Never trust a man without a plan. I treat women the same way. You ain't got no plan. I'm not looking at you the same way.
For sure.
Because you're dealing with millions of dollars, potentially billions of dollars. You want to be a piece of that.
To me, if you're doing high end real estate, you got to be persistent. You got to be consistent. You have to be very mature.
Certain level of professionalism you got to do.
Is so important. Like that whole Tennille situation with
This is the importance of relationships, though.
With Tennille and Alexis, the whole BITCH conversation that was happening.
Yeah,
that was very, very unprofessional.
That was for the show.
Maybe they brought that energy for the show for sure.
They needed that.
That
had to be this one situation where they blow up.
Yeah, because
it was building up.
Yeah,
it was building up.
Them two wanted each other.
It was not even. It wasn't just that. It was all the girls had that build up.
Yeah, for sure.
The girls are different. They can blow off steam, cat meow or whatever, throw paws at each other, and then later on just be like, okay, girl, come down, come on, can we fix this?
Let's hug it out.
Let's hug it out.
Fellas, we ain't doing that.
No, we do not. Forget all that. I
we done for life.
Yeah, we done. I ain't working here no more. I'm working my stuff tonight.
That's it.
I'm gonna go to the office. I'm gonna go get my own ticket back. I appreciate the trip to Miami. Buy my own ticket back.
You know, I'm gonna say this. You know, the show was. I like the show. I think.
Let's talk about the importance of relationships before we close out. I think that's what makes not only makes or breaks you in that market or anything that you do. Because and you spoke about it earlier today on live. Is relationships are important. That's your currency.
You know, I want you guys to understand. Like, there's nothing that really separates a lot of you from being successful, except sometimes just the relationships you have. Some of us like to deal with low quality professionals. We like to deal with low quality people, low quality individuals. And we don't understand when you look at this show here, they're dealing with high quality people.
Yeah.
People who have investments, people who have businesses, people who own assets. Yeah. That's how they're able, probably a lot of passive assets to be able to buy $5 million, $10 million
high level executives, high level CEOs.
For sure.
So it's compliments them if they want to go and do. If Raina wanted to go and do her own real estate or her own law firm, she has a pool of clients she can pull.
Oh, she's already good to go. Hey, Jeff, listen.
Remember that home I sold you from $7 million? Listen, now I've transitioned from taking my real estate experience. I'm actually going back into my law firm. I opened a practice. Which if you need anybody, I normally have a retainer to consult, but anything for you, I'm doing free of charge because you're already a previous client of mine. I just wanted to reach out to you. If you or anybody you know,
easy sale.
One millionaire, fortunately, hangs out with many others.
And that's what a lot of us don't realize sometimes. Like,
which is the benefit if you're gonna do it big.
That's what I'm always telling you guys. Like, open up, stop. Some of us like to hang with just broke people all our life. So we like to have these broke relationships. Some of us have these relationships where you're still having $50 struggling conversation with people that didn't pay you back. That's not what these people are dealing with.
If I was selling cars, I'm not gonna lie, I would have been trying to figure out how to get into Maserati, how to get into Lamborghini. Yeah. I would have been trying to figure out how to sell those types of cars.
I want to be at the best because I don't want to work hard.
Because it's not even just that; it's about the people you're gonna meet.
Yeah, if you got a person that's buying a $500,000 car, obviously that person has something in order to be making $5,000 to $8,000 payments in order to buy a car, $500,000 or $250,000 cash.
So now, while I'm out at a steak shop, that's the guy that sold me my Lamborghini. Hey, John, what's going on? Now you can go and end up figuring out a way to start your own exotic car company.
You never know.
Because of the relationships you have. Hey, look, I'm trying to get another one. Probably by next year, I'm trying to trade this one in. You think you get it? I got you. Don't worry. You know what? There's actually a new model coming that has car. You become an expert in your arena, but to the best of the best.
See, the problem with a lot of people that they're scared.
But you want to go to GM.
They go work at some $40, $50, $60.
Even if you make it $100,000, $200,000, but you selling to people who just get by.
I just told people, look. I even told young kids recently, look. If you're young, go work at Tesla. Go challenge yourself on automatic. Go work at Tesla. Go work at companies that others are scared to work at because you're going to accelerate and you're going to learn more. Because the whole world is going EV. Go there. To me, if I'm young, if I can get into Maserati, go work at Mazda.
Yeah.
If I can work at Lambo, go work at Lambo. If I can work at Bentley, go work at Bentley.
There you go.
I'm not interested in Honda. I'm straight on. I know for sure, yeah, it might take me longer to sell a Bentley, but at the end of the day, when I close one Bentley, I'm good.
Yeah.
I sell one Rolls Royce, I'm good.
It's about the relationships. Again, the guy you bought the guy who probably sold you the Bentley, if it don't work out here, he's gonna be like, come work for me.
You won.
You're winning in any way. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, or if you change careers, hey, such as it's Mike. Yeah, from Bentley. Well, look, now I'm at Merrill Lynch, and I wanted to know, look, what are you doing with your investments? You know what I'm saying? Like, this man got millions. Oh, really? I'm gonna send you $1 million. Let's see what we can do.
But you see, it takes a person who thinks big. It takes a person who understands the value of good relationships. Because life is all about building. As you can see in this show, this is all about relationships. The relationships in your office, the relationships when you go outdoors to farm for clients and farm for.
This is what separates the top agents and the ones who were performing.
For sure,
is they did not have relationships. If Alexis was moving correctly, the NFL wife, she would be the exclusive seller to all sports agents.
And that's what I'm a little confused on too. How was she not doing nothing? Your dude is a football player
at the highest level.
So to me, you're in NFL. So my mind is like, okay, I would probably be throwing little events at the house. I didn't know who's who.
Or figure out how to get in with, okay, baby, can you introduce me to whoever's running the NFL PA? Can you, professional association?
Dude,
what do I need to do to be considered a person that the advisors who work in the NFL PA can refer me for their clients who are looking, who just got drafted to buy a home? Anybody new coming into Tampa should be going through you, or trying to, at least you should be up for grabs. This is the difference with the mindset. And that's what I love about the show, is that it shows Black women and minorities that there is a different mindset. Look at 100%. The people, the biggest deal they had. They have a beauty products company.
Yeah.
Not because their product is so great, it's because of how they scaled the business. They have enough to spend $10 million on a home property. How much do you think they're? But when I look them up, they're in Target, they're in Walmart. They're not only in big box retail stores, but they're online. They're actually an e-commerce business in a sense.
Impressive. So I always believe in that whole concept of life where it's not about making $1 million, it's about getting to 1 million people. And when you're in distribution companies like that, you're obviously going to expand to the highest
48 hours. You see how they can demand that? Look, we got 2 days. We ain't got time for all this.
I love what she did too. That was smart.
She put pressure on purpose.
She put pressure. Sherelle delivered, which is very smart. Let me go get them a home that's not fully developed yet, and let them develop it the way they want. It was beautiful. Instead of giving them this $10 million home developed the way that they don't like it, they don't want it to be,
they would have lost that deal.
She said, okay, let me give you a home that's that's not done yet.
A blank canvas.
So now you can develop it the way you want. And it's not 10 million, 7.5. So even if you put $500,000, you're still at $8.
You put $1 million into it.
Come on.
You can go ahead and make it how you want. You still up.
Oh, it's a win-win. That was a smart play. She did. Loved it.
Yeah.
Sherelle knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
Because another person wouldn't have seen that. They would have go show another 10 million. Oh, I don't like it. You got 2 days.
Yeah. Come
see this. Blank canvas, as you say.
Yeah.
And you make it how you want to make it, and we go from there. And you saving 2.5.
Communities are great. They loved already. They needed a certain amount of wows. This is the pressure you have to get. But what it showed me, and what I would say for us publicly here is, it really, even though you know something, it's always good to get reminded of not only who you are but what your potential is, right? And the reason we're even doing this live is because when me and Bobby were speaking, it really reminded us of, like, damn, we got all this talent. You know what? Let's turn the envelope up a little bit next year.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Let's figure out. He might get into high end. I might do something different. But the fact is just let's try to push it just a little bit, the envelope a little bit more, because there's so much more runway in front of us. Because the one thing we can't get back is time. We can't get 2021 back.
I'm telling you. I think if you put 2-3 years, 2 years, because this is just still residential,
months, right?
If you put 2 years in high end, and you be persistent and consistent, if you're a realtor watching this live, you should be
anybody in sales,
you should be in a position of stability in no time.
Yeah.
Or you're clocking in minimum $250,000 a year.
But here's the difference. And people
light work.
don't. And I want to say this too before we close out. Is off of this is I want people to think as well. Think outside of your zip code.
Yeah.
Think outside of your county. And if you're really brave, think outside of your state.
Facts.
There are so many opportunities that you may be missing or that may be for you. That may be in a different state. Doesn't mean that you got to get up and go to another state for something that's not really an opportunity. Opportunities come in different shapes, sizes, and forms. Because why? There's more money than just in your state, Florida or Georgia or wherever you are. Go live somewhere else for a year. Not a big deal. You come back. You know what I'm saying? It's you're gonna spend that money anyway buying dumb shit. So why don't you go there and be like, let me plant my feet here for a year, see what's going on.
That's very important. I like that idea. One thing I learned too, I tell people, I love how you say that because a lot of people don't explore different areas.
You
and
might
when
find
you
it.
Don't have a responsibility. Say you don't have kids, and
especially for those who don't have kids
you don't
and
have
who are
kids,
single.
I think it's imperative you explore different opportunities.
Go to metropolitan areas
for sure to just see.
Because because a lot of the times, even if you're a career person, the career you're in may have a better vertical in another state that says, look, we're willing to give you an additional 40 grand, 50 grand, but the cost of living in that state is a little bit less. You might be like, damn, you know what? And it's bustling. It's an area that's coming up where you can get there, you know what I'm saying, stack up your disposable income and say, you know what, I'm gonna come here for about a year, I'm gonna come back to Florida once I have a strategy and a plan. But where you are now in your area, there's not enough opportunities where you can eat off of. And this is what I think people should start thinking about, because we have 50 different states where people are getting money.
For sure.
You could be one of those people, you know? So I think that's something just for people to think about.
All right, I feel like tonight we really dropped some good gems. Shout out to the show, Selling Tampa. Shout out to Sherelle, her whole team.
Yeah. But if you haven't watched it, I definitely suggest people to watch it.
Yeah, man. Colony, Ann, Alexis, Raina, Carla, Tamil.
Some corny parts. Don't get me wrong. Some corny parts and some funny parts and some parts that just you just expect.
The show they got to put a little bit of everything. But overall, the show has a lot of implied value and also true value, especially for people who maybe you want to be a broker, maybe you want to get into high end. You get to see also the emotions that come with it, having an all-women's office, or what it takes to manage a brokerage office, because you're dealing with a lot of different mindsets, you're dealing with a lot of different personalities.
Yeah.
You also realize that when you think about a person like Alexis, you also have to motivate people who are not driven.
Right.
And that's a lot of work. So
sales is not for everybody.
Shouts out to the show. This is your boy from Mentourme.com. Appreciate everybody listening to the live conversation about Selling Tampa alongside.
It's your boy Mike the Advisor. We appreciate y'all. If you haven't watched the show, go watch it. We definitely suggest it. Just come back and give us your comments. You know what I'm saying? You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, Mike the Advisor, Mentor Me.
For sure.
We're always there. And you just give us your comments, what you think about the show, what's your favorite parts, what's your funny parts. And if you need a strategy on what you want to do or how to get done, reach out to us. I'm a strategy consultant during the day. That's what Bobby does as well. We give people, a path on how to get there. You know what I'm saying? So the best way. I
want you guys to enjoy your night. This is Bobby from Mentourme.com. Make sure you guys tune in this Thursday night. We got another relationship topic where we're going to talk about something great and juicy when it comes to, of course, the world of relationships.
Yeah, what are we talking about this week? We haven't thought about it just yet.
We got a lot of topics.
We'll figure it out by tomorrow for sure.
We'll pick one and drop it tomorrow.
Yeah, we got a few.
You guys enjoy your night.
Appreciate it, man.
We had some comments. Hold on. We had some comments. Oh, I didn't even see that. Okay. We had a comment. Okay. Tevin.
We still live?
Yeah, we still live. Tevin says, as a realtor, it's second nature to have more than one property to show on standby. Know the taxes on the property and how many rooms. That's very true. Tevin, that's so. Yeah, no,
that's basic. You gotta know that.
It's very important to know your knowledge.
Yeah, that's basic. Yeah, that's like ABCs right there.
I love what Danielle says. Danielle says you need to meet one of those rich people and you good. It's true.
Yeah.
One rich person is going to bring you to another rich person, and then the relationship starts building from there. But I want you guys to also pay attention to before we get on this live is that you realize Colony is going on dinner dates.
Yeah.
There's work that go with this.
But here's the thing. Here's what I want you to understand is, and don't get it twisted. Colony's benefit.
Yeah.
Colony has an advantage that most people don't have, right? Colony is bad. When I say bad in the good way.
Yeah.
Okay. She's a beautiful woman, head to toe. She knows how to conduct herself in certain situations. So she's a rare breed in real estate. Not every real estate lady looks good. So meaning they don't know how to use that to their advantage. She knows how to use it to her advantage. So she can look like eye candy to the right, millionaire that's 30, 40 years old. Entice him to come in and then make it all business. Hey, I'm all about da-da-da-da. What's the price? When are you closing? Where's the funds? Versus, hey, when can we meet? No. She knows how to kind of make it straight business because remember, there is a reputation Colony still has to portray out here. If she's out here with all her clients, it's not going to make her look good. And it's going to cause issues with the business.
I love that because that's very true. Before we close out, I want you guys to know that, relationships come with sometimes stepping out of your comfort zone, maybe a brunch, maybe a dinner. This happens a lot, even commercial real estate. Dinners are very important.
Very important.
You will step out to dinner sometimes or brunches sometimes with high-end.
Who said that comment?
That was Danielle.
And here's the thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate, Danielle. Just because you have that one person doesn't always mean that you're good, too.
Danielle, funny, she put, so I need to wear tighter clothes.
No, I'm not saying that. I ain't saying that. If you know how to work it. If you know how to work it, that's on you. But when I say, because remember in the beginning, they were talking about that. Knowing when to be clubbish and when to be professional.
Yeah,
a woman is a woman. There's things you're gonna wear. But don't go wear a bodysuit Fashion Nova game when you're talking about $1 million. No, you're not there to pull the guy. You're there to close the deal. So you want to be presentable, but just because you have that $1 million person doesn't guarantee it's all good. No, you gotta know how to work that person.
And remember, guys, pay
how
attention.
To work that referral.
Colony, pay attention to her. It's building relationships.
That's why she got so many people.
Pay attention to Neil. Building relationships.
Even when she did her birthday party, she brought what? Nothing but the ballers.
Yes. Building relationships. Some of you don't understand. It's the follow-up game. You get a person's business card. It's
you don't know nobody. You just know.
Yeah,
you ain't friendly. But you trying to get rich. How you trying to get rich and you ain't friendly? Like, I don't already know the guy. I don't mess with you like that.
Problem. You hear
that's your problem. That's not something to be cool. That's not something to be proud of. Like,
I want to be wealthy, but I don't want to build relationships. I don't want to go on a brunch date. I don't want to go on a dinner date. People, this is what it is.
Listen,
this is facts.
The OG, Dale Carnegie, has a book about it. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Look at the title, How to Win Friends. Everybody who's trying to make anything in business and everything, it's all about every corporation that's out there is, in a sense, whoever you buying from, Starbucks, Nike, Louis, good, they all are doing what after you buy with them? They're trying to build a relationship with you.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? You see what they did with Givenchy with Ross? They built a relationship with him. They went to his house, got the personal advisor girl. I followed her. And she local, so you never know. I might be able to pull up and, you know what I'm saying? She might introduce me to something. You just never know.
That's the relationship. But that's why I say business is a very unique area. COVID has adjusted a lot of things, but I can't, to me, I'm stepping back out again. And I even told myself, this show has motivated me so much to even step up and maybe say, you know what, I might tap back into high-end real estate. Only high-end, though. I don't really want to go around selling houses, though. Like, only... It could be done. Maybe only $5 million and up, maybe.
It could be done. Just do $1 million and up.
Yeah,
even $1 million and up can get you. Because remember, for people to, you're bringing it down to 10% of the population.
For sure.
Who can even say they can even put down on that?
Because a lot of people, I think that also is going to be good too. Because I'm a relatable person, social person.
Yeah.
So I think when you have those type of individuals in your pocket, in your corner,
correct.
You never know where you go with that.
And it could take a year of working up under somebody who's doing that.
But you go from just real estate to maybe on a yacht event. You go from a yacht event to maybe selling a yacht one day, because you never know where you might trade not just a house. You might trade a yacht. You might trade a building. You never know. You
can become an executive assistant of a millionaire.
You never know.
He says, you know what? I want to add you to my team. Meet me tomorrow at in Bal Harbor. We're gonna have lunch.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
I see you're doing real estate,
but
I like you. Let's connect.
Yeah,
that's how it happens.
It's true. Because they like you so much. People, we're not going to hold you up. This is Bob from Mentourme.com. People were here, man. Make sure you guys go watch Selling Tampa if you haven't watched it. Shout out to everybody else watching this live. Shout out to the whole Allure Realty establishment. You guys are doing a great job. Love the show. Can't wait for season 2. Mentourme.com.
Mentourme.